All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. It is Monday, May 8th, 2017. I just did a video for the main channel. I'm doing a video for the backup channel. They're both going to be out at the same time. Okay. Um, so this is going to be a little bit quicker video because not really much going on. I did say on the main channel's video that if I get some information about Sadr meeting with Abadi and Hakim, I would post it. As you guys can see here, I do have pictures of Abadi and Hakim meeting in Sadr's mansion. It seems like everybody's meeting in Sadr's mansions lately. But talking over, I guess, national reconciliation or whatever the case may be. But I said if I get information about it, I will post it here. I will do a video on Eyes of the Media about it. So here it is. But I don't know what they're talking about. Mustafa did go and said that only with Sadr can you go from protesting, with the citizens out there in, Tahrir Square in Baghdad, and you're protesting against the corrupt politicians every week to welcoming them into your homes, okay, into your home, into his mansion, into his villa, right? It never fails to impress. Okay, so once again, Sadr is a guy who has 1 million+ followers, and they've been screaming for reforms and justice for about over a year now, and they really haven't got anything done yet. Okay, reforms are done, and and things, but they haven't seen them, right? They haven't seen. It's like Vietnam. Everything is everything. The imports and exports are exploded, but the citizens are still poor. Okay, that's the same thing going here in Iraq. They're doing all these things with the IMF. They're doing everything, but the citizens haven't seen anything really useful on their end, right? Everything is at the top. It's not. It hasn't trickled down to the citizens yet. Okay, so I did come out and say, look, with 1 million+ people, you shouldn't have to beg for anything. You should be able to take anything you want in that country. 1 million+ people behind you, and they can come out at any given time to cheer and protest, and man, you should be able to take anything you want in the country. 1 million people. Who's gonna stop you with 1 million people? I don't care how many guns the Iraqi army has. You have 1 million people. Ain't nobody stopping you, right? So the fact that Sadr and his 1 million people don't have the reforms yet to the citizens, don't have the removal of restrictions, Iraq's not back on the international stage, tells us, and I kept saying it over the summertime last year, it tells us that Abadi and Sadr are working together. And so that's when we knew that something wasn't right. We knew something wasn't right. On the outside, Sadr is talking about we get reforms done immediately. I'm demanding these. Remember, he used to demand the reforms, and now he hasn't demanded anything in the last like 6 months. Remember that? Remember that we were just laughing at him like, you're demanding reforms with 1 million followers? Man, take the reforms. Take over the green zone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like do what you got to do for your people. But he didn't do that because he's working with Abadi, okay, and Hakim and everybody else in the government. So behind the scenes, he's working with the corrupt, and in front of the cameras, he's about the citizens. So we found that out last year, right? And then lately, we found out that Sadr has death threats on him from Maliki and his goons and other people like that. So he then takes a will out and writes his will to his people. Okay, so yeah, so you can see Abadi sitting in the chair in Sadr's mansion and or villa. They call it, mansion, villa, whatever you want to call it down there in the Middle East. And he's laughing here. Then he's got Hakim came through, and Hakim sitting down with Sadr discussing something. I don't know what and then also Jabari came through. I didn't even know Jabari was coming through. So this is how powerful Sadr is, okay? I mean, when you have 1 million people, you are the most powerful. Abadi's not even as powerful as Sadr in the country, okay? Sadr has his own city, Sadr City. Abadi doesn't even have nothing. Abadi's a former finance minister that's now the prime minister, that was given the prime minister, okay, from the president Food Masoon, who anointed him as a prime minister, and everybody agreed to it, right? And they voted and agreed to it. So he came out of nowhere, right? Same thing with Emmanuel Macron came out of nowhere, and this is the new thing they're doing. The elites are propping people up coming out of nowhere, right? So he came out of nowhere. Emmanuel Macron has no experience in politics, and he came out of nowhere. Barack Obama, 1 year, a couple years as a senator, brand new, spanking new, comes out of nowhere, and and promoted, by the New World Order and their globalist people and Oprah and Jay-Z, Beyonce, all the Illuminati people, and they'll prop him up, and everybody votes for him, and then he gives us 8 years of nothing, right? So it's the same thing what Abadi's doing. Abadi has given the citizens 3 years of nothing. Okay, you got the guy who has been propped up in Canada. He's up there in Canada. A couple of years of nothing. And then you got the guy Emmanuel is going to be coming into France, and he's a Rothschild, ex-Rothschild banker. It's going to give the people basically the same. Continue to flood the country in with refugees, and continue to give the people a nightmare situation in France. But that's what they voted on. That's what they deserve. So but we're seeing a pattern here of people coming in and giving their citizens nothing. Okay, coal. Basically, you get coal for Christmas. They're giving them coal. There's no purchasing power, no nothing, right? So we need to change that. Now, these two had a secret meeting early in the year, and they both told each other that Iraq will be back on the international stage, and also that they will be giving purchasing power to the citizens. So we know that these two met, and it was a secret meeting, and it was actually a surprise meeting, and they both made those statements in that surprise meeting, that citizens will have purchasing power this year, and also they will be back on the international stage. Okay, so that was between these two. So they would, if they didn't want to do that, they wouldn't have said that to each other, and that wouldn't have been released. Okay, so I don't know who this guy is. Let me click in the picture. Okay, that's Sadr. Okay, so this is an older picture. Okay. Did he change his clothes or something? I was like, hold up, the Sadr's here in black. Okay, this must be different pictures. And then you got Sadr here with Jabari. Okay, so maybe they just took different pictures and posted it on there. Okay, so that's fine. But we know that he was meeting with Abadi and Hakim. Not sure if he met with Jabari or not, and others, but maybe he did. I don't know. But yeah, and remember, the week before he met with the Ministry of Interior, and he also met with the Ministry of Defense. They also came to his home and met with him as well. So Sadr has met with basically all the top high-ranking people in the government for some reason. I don't know why he's doing that. I don't know what they're talking about. We don't know. Maybe unification, settlements, and other things like that. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe he just wants to meet with everybody before they kill him. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Okay, let's keep it moving. So Abadi congratulates Emmanuel Macron on winning the presidential elections, and I look forward to building a strong ties between our countries. Okay. And somebody says LOL. Some people are laughing because yeah, Emmanuel has no experience in politics. He's a globalist, but here's the thing: it doesn't matter if Le Pen won. Abadi would have also congratulated Le Pen. This is what they do. Okay, everybody congratulates whoever wins. Doesn't matter if they're globalist, nationalist. I mean, Abadi congratulated Donald Trump, right? So it doesn't matter who you are, right? They just want to make a friendly gesture of congratulations to the new leader in that country. So that's all it is. But globalists will stick with globalists, nationalists will stick with nationalists, and it is what it is. But this is normal. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Saddam Hussein won the presidency of France. He would have still congratulated Saddam Hussein, right? And it's just what they do. Moving on, Abadi issued the battle to liberate Nivea orders. Okay. And they're actually talking about what happened a couple of days ago when Iran put out the fake news that America and Iraq has signed an agreement to stop the operations in Tel Afar. And of course, they came out. The cabinet secretary came out quickly and said that is a lie. And it looks like Abadi is also saying that we need to watch out for the fake news that is going on around the world. And we didn't do any we did not sign any agreements to stop operations of the liberation of Tel Afar and the Western Mosul, or and also the Western Mosul from the grips of Daesh. Okay, so he said at the time when the international coalition led by Washington on Sunday confirmed that he is moving according to Prime Minister Abadi. Okay. So yeah, so that they were talking about that, and it says is noting that he does not exist for any U.S. message regarding Tel Afar to the Iraqi government. So it was just basically bullcrap lies from Iran trying to make the Iraqi army and also the Americans look bad around the world with fake information, and everybody came out and said it was a lie from Iran. Um, and then they came out immediately and said that they didn't wait a couple of days. They immediately came out and said it was done. We believe that there is less than 1,000 items of Daesh, meaning there's less than 1,000 Daesh members left in Western Mosul. Now remember, when we first started this, they only gave us a number about 3,000 to 6,000. That was the range. That was back in February. We've killed about 40,000. Okay, so it's not Daesh. These are not Daesh ISIS. These are foreign fighters. And if you look at the map, the 17 Tamos has a majority of those foreign fighters in that area. And then remember, I told you that they came down and they made they made an alleyway basically to defend that 17 Tomas. So what happened was that the Iraqi forces and the PMUs and the federal police and the emergency response division saw that. Remember, I even brought that to you because Iraqi Day messaged me and told me that, right? And so we said we need to storm from the north, like we've been saying. And then what happens? Couple of days later, they start storming from the north. Why? Because they made these people, the foreign fighters and the foreign terrorists, are looking downwards. They're looking south and they're looking towards the right coast connector. So what do? You come in behind them. So what do? We came in behind them with the forces in the northwest. Okay, and then we're gonna come down and we're gonna attack them from behind. That's exactly what we're doing now, right? So. And then we're going to also come in through the west, through the industrial area, so that we can get them, we can attack them from the west and from the north. Okay, and that's exactly what we're doing. This is everything this is what we were talking about. Remember when I was reading the conversation me and Iraqi Day had, and this is exactly what's going on right now. Okay, so it's kind of awesome to see that a few days before we can talk about military operations in that country. Iraqi Day lives in Iraq, right? So he can give us information like that, and we can talk about it, and then we can see it come to pass exactly the way we talked about it, and that's exactly what's going on. So, so when they say 1,000 Daesh members left, they're not talking about ISIS. They're talking about the foreign terrorists that are in the area, and there's probably a little, maybe 100 ISIS Daesh members in the right coast connector, but we'll deal with them last in final hours, and then maybe the 900 that are left are foreign terrorists in the region. Okay, but as you can see today, we got the industrial district completed in 7 hours. So that tells you that there's nobody there. Okay, nobody was living there. We can go through these areas very quickly. So if we got that done in 7 hours, we can get the rest of Mosul basically into final hours in the next 3 to 4 days. We can actually do that the way we're moving, right? 17 Tomas will be a hard task because it is a whole bunch of foreign terrorists there. But I think because we're coming in through the north and we're coming in through the west, we'll be able to annihilate them as well very quickly. Because a lot of them don't even know that we're coming in through those ways. They don't have internet. Okay, so I think I'm done with that. Let's check out Bitcoin prices here. A little update on Bitcoin here. and Bitcoin's at 1635. Ethereum's at 90. I did see Ethereum at 85. Couldn't get it though. Next time it goes to 85, I will try to grab some if it even does return there. Litecoin's at 29. And I think that is it. I don't know what this is right here, but I'm going to click on it to find out. Okay, it's nothing. Okay, so that's it. It was a quick video. The next video will be on Eyes Open Media. There is I think Shinoden's video. I think I'm going to post a Shinoden video on here and also a Shinoden video on the main channel. I think he did 2 videos. I'll post both of those videos here in a second. It'll be one on this channel, one on the main channel. I'll be back on the main channel, Currency 365, to do the map update, and you'll see the new map, which should look a lot greener than yesterday. Yesterday was green, even greener, and today should be even greener, right? So we're moving quickly into final hours, and like I told you guys, once we get into final hours, many of us aren't going to sleep. We're going to be studying Iraq for 48, 24 hours a day, and we're going to be in final hours looking step by step what the military is doing. I'll have all my teams. I'll have everybody on pace, in the same, of course, people are in different time zone, but we're all going to be up, and we're going to go into final hours, and we're going to get this thing completely done, and we'll be watching Abadi and Donald Trump when they're going to be making their moves to Western Mosul, or to Donald Trump making his way to Baghdad, because I think there's going to be a huge celebration in Baghdad as well. I think there's going to be a huge celebration in Western Mosul like it was in Eastern Mosul, but I also believe because all of Iraq will be officially liberated, right? Of course, there will still be some pocket holes like Anbar to Kirk, Baj, and maybe Tal Afar, and maybe still might not be liberated, maybe so, I don't know. And then Qam and also some other areas, pocket holes that still would have ISIS territories, but as a whole, Iraq would be fully liberated of ISIS and Daesh. And so Tal Afar, I mean not Tal Afar, but what am I trying to say? The Iraq, Baghdad, Tahrir Square should be a celebration with, 1 million to 3 million people there as well. Okay, so once we get in the final hours, we'll be here, and I'll be doing updates, and we'll be looking at the map, and we're looking at all the other things that go along on this channel and on the main channel. It will be, we'll be in final hours, so that's what we've been waiting for. So let's see how it looks, and we'll be capturing it all. Okay, so talk to you guys later. Bye. Eyes open.